So there she is, our completely built and finished Grand Am, the Captain America themed. We're pretty happy with how it came out. The paint scheme came out as well as we could have hoped for. The Captain America shield, which I hand drew, made a little stencil of the star there, and then kind of went after that. So, you know, certainly not a perfect circle, but, you know, it came out looking good. The red's a little bit kind of a more unique look. I don't know. You see the letters. We used the Cricut and took some my name, but then different quotes or lines from Captain America till the end of the line. Something him and Bucky said to each other. I think that's a great line. They use it throughout the series different times. Avengers Assemble. That's a line Captain America says different times. Although in Endgame, I might have brought a tear to my face whenever that whole sequence was playing out. So, big fan of the Marvel movies. Captain America is by far my favorite. I can do this all day. Thought that was appropriate for derbying too on the back. And that's something Cap says different times. And then on your left, which starts as he's running at the beginning of Winter Soldier, and it's used different times after that, including Endgame, which is a crazy good moment. So yeah, there it is. The paint job looks great. Build wise, you know, my typical, just got the chain there for the kind of cage. Everything on the inside from the cage to the tank, again, I just cut it out, set down the internal fuel pump cell in there. Wiring, I just like to kind of tape it together and then, you know, kind of put it in a stationary spot. I am planning on crimping, so just beating around with the sledge and putting a jack under there and kind of crimping that spare tire holder as high as I can or as level as I can. But every time I hit it, there's so much rust in the back that fell. I didn't want to make a mess in my father-in-law or our property, so I'm like, yeah, I'll wait till I get to the Derby maybe, and if not, oh well. But other than that, I did, once again, took that's the wiring for the stock fuel cell, the stock wiring. The two plugs, the black was the negative. It's kind of like a white, see it right there? They're the biggest lines again, so you know there's what, like 8 different wires coming out of that thing. I'm like, well, the black I'm almost certain is the negative and it's the biggest wire. The other wire that's the same size is that kind of cream white, and sure enough, that was the negative, that was the positive. So I've got the positive run to my 16 gauge wire, which I'm using the same switch up to my switch, and then it's run to the positive terminal. Got a ground there, and then the negative I just ran straight to the negative terminal. So just like the last time, it worked great. If it rains or gets wet, not a problem, but that's turning my fuel cell on and off. The second switch, however, is new for me. That is the switch that is powering the fans at all times. So all it is here, see, I got my positives, I'll show under the hood, running to here, and then I have a second wire running from there down to my positive terminal. And then the negative, you see it coming out of the hood there, that is again going straight to the negative terminal, just like my fuel cell. And turn on that switch whenever the battery is plugged in and the fans fire up. So that is a way, you know, again, I've been told by some buddies, shout out again to Ted if he ever watches these, he's like, man, why don't you direct wire the fans? I'm like, well, is it easy? He's like, yeah. So it's really that easy. Here's the fan switch. See if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. So right there, it just plugs in. Same thing over here. All I did was take those wires, clip them. There's just 2 wires. One's negative, one's positive. The one was a black was the negative. The white, or kind of like a grayish, was the positive there. The other one, it was a weird color. See if I have it exposed. Yeah, here it is. So the white was again positive. It was like a teal greenish type thing that was the negative. But the easy way to check that, I showed in the video I'm going to post on my page, is, you know, just I cut them, took them, touched them to the terminal, came on, that's the negative, that's the positive. So I have the negative strung up here, taped completely black, so I know that's the negative. So the 2 fans are coming together there, the negatives, and then go to the battery terminal. The 2 positives are coming together. See if I can find right here. Nope. That's the one positive. Well, you gotta find your other one. Oh, that's right, because I ran the one I had to extend. But they ran them together, and then again ran them inside. And it's that simple. Flip the switch, they come on. Turn the switch off, the fans go off. Excuse me. Otherwise, there's my coolant sensor rather. It's right underneath the throttle linkage there. Again, I just like to do that. Why? Because I had an engine shut off because it got too hot. I've yet to have that problem with that. So check the fluids, add a little bit to the coolant sensor here, or the coolant overflow I should say, for the radiator, and I took off this hose here, made sure it was flowing, topped it back off. Everything seems good there. So otherwise, yeah, just again, you know, try to clean up the wiring. I looped the tranny lines, which again, it's hard to see right there. Get my finger in there. You can see the bracket. It's hard to see, and I zip tied them because it was hanging so low to the ground that it was almost dragging on the ground. So I tried to make sure I didn't kind of crimp them in a funny angle. And they are close to the fan. You see how tight everything is here. I mean, I kind of pulled it back as much as I could, but that's just kind of these small car motors. So that's everything under the hood. Everything works. I took the spray foam around the core support there in the bottom and partway up the side. Saw a guy do that. I'm like, I didn't know you could do that in a stock build. And he was doing it for Derby Dog, which is the promoters that I'm going to today. This car is heading to Crawford. So again, you never really know until you're there and you know, you start smashing up. The bumper, that is actually off the Ford Freestyle. I kept, and I asked, I said, can I put this bumper on there? The holes line up on each side. There we go. Just went and got a big 9/16 bolt and bolted it down, and they said, yep, you can do that. So pretty sure she's going to run the Eco stock class, according to Derby Dog here in Western PA, and we'll see. Hopefully have some fun, and hopefully it runs for a while, even if we don't place. You know, it's just fun to be out there for a while and smash them up. But we'll see. But that is her. We'll see how she does.